Alright, so today it's going to be all about plumbing. Let's see what I can get away with here. Ooh. Now obviously there was a washroom in here at some point, because there is holes in the wall for pipes. Perfect size for a 1¼ inch pipe coming through. It has this lower part of an S-trap. It's made of metal. It could be original to the plumbing. I don't know. I can't get it off. I would like to. I'd like to replace it all with the plastic stuff. But it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to. And it doesn't look like I can move this. So this is where it's going to be. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get the plumbing from the other side to here, as well as to the sink, and that's just the waste plumbing. So I'm going to put this together like this without the cabinet, just to make sure that it's something I can get away with. Finally puzzled out the plumbing here. Got 1¼ coming out of the floor. I had to cut the top of that off because it was had a J or a P turn in it, and so I cut that off and then put the plastic ones on. That way I can move it around all I want. Plus when I do the cabinet, I just have to cut a hole and drop the cabinet on top of it. So next thing to do is to run the actual water. Here is the water. It's 1/2-inch PEX, as you can see. That's hot on this side. This is cold on this side. It's going to crisscross on the other side, obviously. So I'll figure that out. And that goes to the tank, to the utility sink on the other side, which I'm really not that concerned about. I am concerned about this thing, which is the water outlet for the washing machine. Put that in the other day. So it's a real nice setup here. I like it a lot. So I got to run water to it, and this is the utility, and there's the waste pipe going from underneath it. A little tricky trying to figure all that out, but it's done. So the next step is to run the water line. I have blue PEX for the cold water and red PEX for the hot water. Mostly because I get confused. You know me. Alright, so, and it's going to be going into this wall behind here. There's already some holes drilled in it for this purpose. I'll use the hole that's there. I need to get another board here. I've got a bunch of them in the barn, but I'm going to put another board on there, drill a similar hole in. It's going to be different than what's originally there. There was this humongous hole. This one is 7/8. That's the largest I'm going to use. And I will be putting plates on the wall similar to this one. I've got them somewhere, so that they're not just big gaping holes in the wall. So I need to take this apart. I need to start cutting some line, and I've got these. This is a PEX elbow. This is a PEX T. I will need to do the T's over here so that the water can come from here into the laundry room, as well as go across here and up to here. So a lot of drilling to do right now, so I will get started on that. I've changed from the shark bite which I've enjoyed using. Makes it real easy to do, except these are expensive. I think this particular 90-degree angle costs like $15. It's brass and it's not cheap. So I'm using the pinch clamps, and I got a pinch, everything I need to do that. Got a new pinch tool. This is probably the cheapest of the type of clamping you could do with PEX. There are better, I think, but this is a restoration on a budget. So take this apart and start putting this puzzle together. These are the pinch clamps. Alright, so there it is. I've got my tea. This goes to the water source. That goes out to the sink on the other side. This goes to the washer. Alright, time for an elbow. I'm just barely strong enough to do this. The guys who did their plumbing or the heating used these cool Milwaukee tools. You just push a button and but budget. We were on a budget. Alright, so I have this already off. hope I don't run out of these things. I feel like I'm about to. All right. There's that. Alright, so now it's time to secure the box so it's not flopping around like it's been. Okay, so here's my plumbing setup. It hasn't been secured because I need to run this through the bottom of my cabinet. This is my new cabinet that I got. Almost killed us this month, paying for it. But I need to drill holes in the bottom, and they have to be exactly in the right place. I don't want to have great big ugly sloppy holes in this thing. So I need to measure, transfer that information over to the cabinet, drill the holes, then I have to disassemble all of this and run it through the cabinet, and then I can finish this up. Alright, so I had some choices to make here. Again, these cabinets are designed for the plumbing to come out of the wall, and since this is a 100-year-old house, is what they did is they put in a drop ceiling in the floor, in the ceiling one floor below, and ran everything underneath the floor and through the floor. So it's kind of standard, I'm assuming, for retrofitting plumbing into a house that didn't originally have plumbing, but it's caused me a bit of an issue. But I think I've got a solution for it. We have about, dead center is about 7 3/4 of an inch, and if I go to the bottom of our cabinet, 7 3/4 is going to be right in the middle of a support underneath the cabinet. So if I remove the support, then I'll have issues down the road of the bottom cabinet falling apart. So I'm going to drill to where I need it to be underneath, and I'm going to put in some supports on either side. So I'll have two different supports. They're independent, and the pipe is going to be going between them. Now I'm going to make that wide enough that's not going to be an issue, but it is a pain. So yeah, that's my next step here. Larger bit. Alright, so there's my hole and there's my center support. I'm going to have to cut on either side. I'm thinking about a good half an inch on either side so that I have as much wiggle room as I can get. And then I'll have to figure out how to support that underneath. Alright, so I measured absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, and you put a lot of holes in my wall.
It was all lined up perfectly. Because I am so good at this.
You are. Don't sell yourself short. You're short enough.
Alright, so I have the water turned off right now.
Which how do I bit my cheek again? I'm waiting very patiently to have it turned on.
And in case you haven't figured out, Val is sitting in the tub, being the absolute peanut gallery. Aren't you?
I am determined to annoy you today.
Yes, you are. Okay, so there, I've got that on, ready to go. Now I can attach all the rest of the plumbing as it should be, and almost ready to test the lines to make sure they're not leaking somewhere.